Hi, if you're new here, welcome, and if you already know me, welcome back. While we wait for season 2 of the One Piece live action adaptation, I am doing this little fun series where I create some tier lists, rankings, talk about my theories, and so on. I also promised to rewatch season 1 and do a final comparison with the manga, so that video is also coming at some point before season 2. I thought I would start this series with something simple, which is creating my personal top 10 favorite moments from East Blue Saga in the manga. You'll notice that some of the moments also happen in the live action and others only happen in the manga, but without further ado, let's begin. I'll start by reading a quick list of honorable mentions. Shanks giving his hat to Luffy in Chapter 1. Kobe standing up to Alvida all by himself in Chapter 2. Kobe saluting Luffy in Chapter 7. Gaimon's side story. Gin's whole character. Luffy's line, "I won't die," and everything else he did in Chapter 63. Zoro and Nami's back and forth in Chapter 71. Usopp and Nami's confrontation in Chapter 74. Genzo hugging Nami and telling her that she fought well in Chapter 81. Genzo's whole character, including everything with the pinwheel or him talking to Luffy. And my final honorable mention is Luffy's humor. He just has such a specific brand of comedy that I don't even know how to describe. Some of my favorite examples include Run Straight North moment, Luffy saying, "Look at all that beef," when he saw Momo the sea cow, Luffy telling Shanks he will go and find a real role model, and Luffy saying "our noses" when Arlong asked him what's the main difference between the two. And now, let's move on to the main top 10. Keep in mind that this is a very loose ranking because I kept changing my mind on the specific order. My number 10 is Zoro's fight against Mihawk and his oath. At number 9, I put Chocho's story. My number 8 is Sanji's backstory and how it ties to his current arc in Baratia. At number 7, I have Sanji's goodbye to Zeph in Chapter 68. With number 6, I am cheating a little bit because I put everything with Nami's character, her story, her backstory, including everything that happened with Belmere. Some of the highlights include the line, "She decided to live" in Chapter 77, Belmere's speech in Chapter 79, and Nami asking, "Will you please die with me?" in Chapter 88. At number 5, I put Nami's breakdown, asking Luffy for help, and Luffy giving her his hat. My number 4 is Luffy's line, "This pen has blood on it," and Luffy destroying Nami's old room. At number 3, I put Luffy naming all the things he can't do in Chapter 90. My number 2 is Usopp's inner struggle and his eventual hero moment in Chapter 87. And finally, my favorite moment in the manga so far, and you might find it a little bit surprising, is actually the disbanding of Usopp's pirates in Chapter 40. And that's all I have. Obviously, there are many more moments that deserve to be mentioned, and in general, I believe that it's precisely those small moments compounding that make the big moments feel so earned and so special. But that's all from me for today. Like I said, more small videos like this one are coming before the show's season 2, so if you're interested, you can subscribe. But for now, goodbye and I'll see you next time.